Oh, I remember. This is a podcast where I introduce all of you.
Hi, Mom.
Hi,
To
hi, Renee.
Erica's mom.
Hi, Renee. I'd like you to meet some of Erica's third-tier friends.
Do we want to use a version of
That's
that we can
generous.
use without doxing Erica's mom?
I think Erica has named her mom on the stream.
I have.
So.
Yeah,
Yep.
Renee has been named. I mean,
Yeah,
see you next
no,
time.
Renee-
Renee is a known
She has her name
catchphrase.
in her Twitter.
Yeah, I think Renee is
Renee
canon.
Cindeloren.
Confusing. What is a name? Dan, is this
Very
working?
confusing.
Oh yeah.
She and my mom says hi all.
Hello.
We're told that audio and video is all good. I see 8 people watching. Go tell your
Mom, Mom.
friends.
I
I
tweeted a
told
thing.
Twitter people.
That's good.
Oh,
I
I
can't
should-
do
I
that
should
without
retweet
ruining
these.
something in my setup. That's always what I struggle with in the live streaming. I feel like I can't touch anything.
You shouldn't touch anything, Dan. Stop touching stuff.
Maybe I can do it on my iPad. Oh, there we go.
All right, I've retweeted a thing.
Tweet.
Oh gosh. Hi, live stream. It's stuff, huh? Yeah. This is just there's kind of a boot up process as I get ready for Total Party Kill, where I deactivate certain parts of my brain and other parts of the brain that are kind of like those might be parasites like take over and they get real excited. That's
Unfortunately, the Tony boot process comes with an asymptotic loading bar.
reference acknowledged.
Never quite.
But I hope you are all doing the best version of OK You Can, and we're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons very shortly because that's what we do on a podcast.
On some Tuesday nights.
I won't
Tuesday nights.
I won't shame them, but there is a podcast I listen to that has the same like ad for another podcast at the end of it, and it's a TV show that's now available in podcast show format. I think it's like a news or politics, and the host definitely says the word podcast in a way that suggests that they have never said the word podcast out loud before. And it used to infuriate me, and now it's it's gone around.
There's
It's
some
like,
guy
good
like holding
news,
up a
everybody.
phone.
We are now a podcast. Sorry.
Probably got like a Nerf gun at his head or something.
Yeah. Jane was saying something funny that I couldn't even hear.
That there's probably just a guy named Adam holding a cell phone underneath like it and just saying like, no, just talk normally. Just talk normally with your friend Barbara Streisand.
I am interviewing someone who you know. That's my normal voice. We're good.
Dan, TotalPartyKill.live doesn't show anything yet.
It did before.
It's not showing me either.
What?
And I just wondered if that meant people could go to it or not yet. You said 8, but those might be people who are subscribed to the thing.
That's weird. It was showing up there before.
I know it sometimes takes a minute or two to catch it.
I looked at it before and it had the YouTube embed, and I don't
know
know why it's not there now.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm happy to start whenever.
I
just don't know if
confirmed.
you're gonna
I agree. I don't
suddenly
need
say-
4 more people to tell me it's not there. I agree with you. It is not there.
Hey,
I don't know
Dan.
why. Oh God, I leave.
Yeah, one of the listeners posted the link to the stream before I tweeted it, which is always impressive.
Oh,
impressive.
so they're out there listening. Hey, listeners out there listening.
Only the 8 that were like.
What would be
hackers.
super awesome is if you are a fan of the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast. I recently tweeted out a little thing where I tagged Wizards D&D, which is the Twitter account for Wizards of the Coast, Dungeons and Dragons. And it'd be great if you could retweet that and also sort of regularly interact with anything that mentions Wizards D&D as well. Because, look, we've been doing this for a long, long time. And I would argue that we, many of us, do a pretty damned good job of this. And
I've been
maybe
phoning
better
it
than...
in.
Maybe better than some of the folks out there who have been sort
I've
of
been doing
blessed by
great.
Wizards of the Coast. Thank you, Erica.
Erica and Micah,
And
I feel like
I
you guys
think
are really
that-
carrying me. Thank you.
I just think that we deserve some more attention potentially.
You want
that,
like some free
could come
books?
our
Is
way.
what you're saying, Micah?
It's not that I want free books. It's that, come on, we've been doing this
you
for a
want
long
love.
time. And
Oh,
doing
you don't
it
need
well.
books. You're in this for love.
I'm in this for
very
love.
Adulation.
Fortunate to exist in a rich kind of marketplace where people who love D&D podcasts can just go and grab whatever podcast fits their fancy and is their exact style. And if we fit your fancy and are your style,
share us with the
tag
world.
in
Support
posts.
us.
Get that engagement.
But remember to speak normally when you do it.
Yeah.
No,
Definitely don't speak like someone has a gun to your head. Yeah.
Beatrice will
Very
flap her wings
slowly.
every time someone
My favorite
engages.
podcast is Total Party Kill.
All right, TotalPartyKill.live works again, and the
good.
incomparable.com/live was working the whole time. Why? I don't know. Ghosts.
Yay.
And specifically the Dog and Pony Show, because I want stickers.
There are stickers?
Oh, I mean,
I
was
didn't
gonna
know
say
it was a stake here.
I could just make a sticker.
It's not the same. It's not the same,
Oh.
Tony. We don't want you to have to do work. Is the thing. I mean, more than you already do.
Okay, what about I have very bad news for you about this podcast. Look, I know it's amateurish, but I put in a lot of time. The results mixed at best, but the input excessive. So yeah.
Great. All right. Well,
I'm just saying
we're all
we get
settled.
stickers. All right. So Micah has done a plug for Please Love Us. 9 people have heard it because that's how many people are watching. That counts me, I think. So
And a few people have already started to love us,
Oh.
so thank you.
Well, you know.
For your active love. I know there's a lot of passive love going on, and we appreciate that too.
We do.
Okay.
We do.
Yeah. You know what? If it turns out you don't like us, why are you still listening? Here, let me list
I
some
have
other
questions.
That's a great
podcasts.
question.
Yeah. If you are trapped, if you are being forced to listen to this podcast against your will, get out of that car. Run into the woods, into the night. No one can stop you. Please don't use Total Party Kill as a weapon against your friends. Or enemies. Don't
I was just
use a
gonna
weapon.
say, only use it against your enemies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
do
okay.
not-
We're fine with that.
Do not weaponize this podcast. This is a podcast of friendship. If anyone is going to suffer, it is going to be the people
is.
on the podcast, not our listeners. Thank you.
We love our listeners.
Oh gosh.
Oh, they're all right.
Dan, it is. So we started 8-ish, 8:18.
As we so usually do. Yes.
Yeah. How far can I stretch this ish?
I think we're
Legally,
about there.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're pretty
Yeah,
close.
it's about time.
All right. I'm gonna do the thing. I'm disengaging the last parts of my brain that caused me to talk like a normal person. Switching into podcast mode, I will introduce all of you and then myself. That's weird and different, but that's what I'm going to do. That is what my brain is saying to do. Everyone is recording. Everything is great. Okay. Welcome back. It's Tuesday night, and that means it's the Dog and Pony Show here at Total Party Kill. First up, let me introduce some of our players. They will introduce their characters, and we'll talk about what's going on so far in our adventure. Our first player, I'd like you to focus all of your energy, your love, and attention on Micah, 2-Dog Sergeant.
Hello.
In this new intro, you have nicknames now.
I love it.
Should have written down at least more than one nickname before starting this. Micah, would
I'll
you
give
remind
Tony-
us of who you are and your character?
Yeah, I'll give Tony some time to think of some other nicknames while I tell you that I play Elevor Landman, the half-elf druid, as well as Samus, the saber-toothed tiger. Elevor and I use he, him pronouns, and Samus is she, her.
From the cloudy Pacific Northwest, it is Aline, Heart of Glass Sims. I cannot reveal the origins of her nickname for HIPAA reasons. Hi, Aline. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's actually not that cloudy here lately, but I play Imra Soliana, the Wood Elf Ranger, and her trusty pupper, Androdite. We all use she, her pronouns, and we are all ready to break down that door and talk to that jerk face who's been hiding while we fight for our lives.
You
Oh,
speak,
yeah.
of course,
Sorry.
of Strahd von Zarvit, or somebody else. No, I'll get to that soon. From the far away, snowy Arctic waste, the Ratless Wasteland that is Canada, it is Erica No Nonsense Ensign.
Okay.
The Ratless Wasteland.
I'm about to live up to my no nonsense name because, okay, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
only Alberta is Ratless, not all of Canada. Second of all, it's summer.
Sir, are the wastes that you are from Ratless or not?
My specific wastes definitely Ratless.
All right,
Yes,
sorry.
it is
There
true.
may have been some. Look, I don't know how words work. I would like to argue that all of my words are correct, possibly not when assembled in the order that I presented them.
Okay.
I
this
just
is true.
imagined a belt that was supposed to have rats hanging from it, but yours is specifically not. So it was a ratless waistband as opposed to a ratless wasteland.
Classic
I
tongue
actually,
twister.
I do have to point out that all of my waistbands are in fact Ratless.
Nice. Nice.
You're missing
Oh,
out.
you've got to try
Show
it.
off. Yeah.
You simply must.
Erica, you
Yes.
want to introduce your character?
I think I will. I think I'll do that now. I play Bruldish, a dwarven paladin. Her pronouns and mine are she, her. And I also play Brildish's sometimes I sometimes play Brildish's celestial pony, Pony Cindelarnt, words in the right order, very important. Pony's pronouns are he, him.
We keep adding side characters and sidekicks, and it's not made these intros any shorter. From the magical East Coast, both of the people from the East Coast are looking because they're ready. It's only going to be one of them, though. It is the one, the only, Jane Painbringer Ritt. Hi, Jane.
Yes, I won it. I won it with eye contact. I am Jane Ritt, and I play Lena Dulina, the human rogue. Both of us use she, her pronouns.
And last but certainly not least, he's just down the street from me, a street that is metaphorically and literally paved with rats. Probably. I don't know how streets work.
I'm learning a lot about Massachusetts.
Dan Biscuits Morin. Hi, Dan.
I can't argue with it.
Dan? Yeah. Mike is questioning the name. Dan, do you love biscuits?
It's true. I love all forms of bread. Everyone who knows me knows this.
Yep.
Dan
Biscuits Morin.
I will clarify for you. I'm doing great. I'll clarify these streets are paved by rats, not with rats.
By prepositions are just made up words they use to pad out novels. They're a trick of lazy hack writers.
That's why none of my books have
trowels?
prepositions.
That would be so
they got
cute.
trowels. They got
little rats with
a
little
little rat
trowels.
steamroller that they drive. Yeah, it's adorable. You got to catch them late at night, though.
Was that Richard
Yeah.
Scary?
That's right. Yeah, it's Richard Scary. Exactly. They drive a car that looks like an apple.
All right, I want to know what your nickname is, Mr. Dungeon Master.
Is it?
I think Dan technically has a character he'll introduce first.
Oh, that's
fine.
right. Sorry.
Whatever.
I got so excited about the little rats with the tiny trowels. I got distracted.
Can't help it.
I play Castan Onatar's Crucible, aka Crucible, a Warforged cleric of the god Onatar who uses the pronouns they, them, while I use the pronouns he, him. They do not have any pets, including pet rats, which is a little sad.
I think I've offered to give you some horrible things. I forget.
You gave
have these
Crucible a
horrible things.
revenant. That was it.
That's a pet.
I didn't make you open a bag.
It's very much like that time you tried to take a mouse out of your apartment and it came back after you freed it.
If you
like
give
in
a mouse
field.
an apartment,
Yep.
This is not a joke. This is just words I'm going to say that sound like a joke. You'll have to be more specific. I live in a certain stock of housing, and that stock is bad.
But it's paid by rats, so
Yeah. Hey, mice are very different from rats. There's a whole hierarchy there in terms of how, like a house with mice, that's just a house. A house with rats, that's a problem.
and that's our
but
dungeon
I have-
master, Tony Mouse Hunter Sindelar.
Oh, I was going to introduce myself, and Dan ruined it.
Sorry.
Well, now I
sorry.
can't. The podcast is over.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Okay,
Thanks
well,
for
bye.
tuning in on Tuesday night.
All right. So as Dan mentioned, I am Tony Mouse Hunter Sindelar. I will be your dungeon master this evening, or whatever time of day you are listening to a podcast
It's always Tuesday
about.
night.
It's always Tuesday night. Wherever you are, don't look at your phone. It's Tuesday nights. Trust us. We would never lie to you. What is going on? Well, our adventurers are back in the town of Vallaki, a town in Barovia, big Barovia, that they have passed through before and passed through yet again on their way to the spooky, shadowy castle Ravenloft. And things are not well in Vallaki. Festivals are all on hold, and there seems to be some kind of outbreak of attacks all around Vallaki, and our adventurers have, I guess, solved the mystery. It was vampires. They were operating out of the second story of a coffin maker's shop. You had the exciting thing of exploring the ground floor full of coffins. Those coffins, empty. Second floor, mundane, much less ergonomical crates. Those crates, lousy with vampires. Many a vampire spawn has been defeated. The sun has now firmly set. And I believe you really just have some mopping up to do. I mean, probably you want to talk to the guy who owns this house, who's in the next room being a curmudgeon.
I know somebody who does.
Yeah. You technically still have on your wish list to steal a wedding dress from the Burgermeister's mansion. And I'm just guessing, there's been a big fight in this house in a village that's basically kind of in lockdown. We may see Isaac Strahd and the town guards sometime soon. But these are just words that I'm saying as I speculate about what is going to happen. So you've taken a moment, you've regrouped, you're still in the second story of the Coffin Maker's shop. Take it away, somebody who's not me.
I argue we're in the first story of this whole campaign.
I
Yes.
am going to that door.
The door
By
that we
the
had
kitchen.
to pry her away from in order to fight the vampires. Like,
And I'm gonna nods like, go ahead then.
Pound on it with my fist, and I'm gonna say, open the door now, or I will use my axe.
So just to remind people of the geography of the space, first floor of the Coffin Maker's shop, there's like a workshop and a showroom / coffin storage area. Second story, mainly lumber storage, which I wouldn't store lumber upstairs. I'm saying as somebody who's had a job unloading trucks, you want to keep your lumber at ground level. But there's also a tiny kind of apartment tucked into the second floor. So Imra, you have strode through what is, I guess, the kitchen / dining room of this kind of meager coffin maker, and are pounding on his bedroom door. And from behind that door, an old man calls out to you, "No, go away! I don't want any trouble. Be gone."
Okay, I pull out my axe.
Ooh, that
breaking
does
the door
extra
down.
damage.
I was gonna say he probably can't see that you pulled out an axe. From
Yeah,
behind
no,
the
I
door.
don't care if he sees.
Imra.
This is not an idle threat.
You have full cover.
I was just informing him of the sequence of events should he not open the door.
I've never seen Imra go quite so far. I'm really excited about that.
Cover your eyes.
Imra, is this really necessary? Perhaps we can convince him more peaceably to come
Whack.
out.
I was like, I am not going to make the sound effects for a player, but chunk.
Other players will help out and make those sound effects. Yeah.
Imra, it's your axe.
It's your call. I mean, you don't have to chop down the whole door. You just have to chop the little area where the latch is. That's all.
Yeah.
Or
I'm doing
enough to look into. There's
Start at the
I'm
top.
just saying, one small hole in a door really jeopardizes a lot of the doorness of the door.
Imra.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you stick your head through it, then it makes a real difference.
Inside, lit by he's holding like one of those little candles that you would kind of on the little brass thing. I don't know enough about words.
Candle holder?
Is it a candelabra if there's only one candle?
Oh, do you mean like the
maybe
little
it's a candle
cup
yeah.
thing?
Yeah. Do we just call that a candle holder? Dan, you're drinking words.
I would just call it a candle.
It's just a candelab.
Okay. Thank you, Micah. And so there is kind of you can see into the there's kind of a shabby bedroom beyond Imra, and the sound of the voice you were yelling at is clearly an old man. He's dressed for bed. He's got like a nightcap on, and he's wearing his sleeping robe, and he's kind of cowering at you / scowling. So scowling.
Cower scowl. Burns a lot of calories.
Go away, he says through the hole in the door that you have chopped.
Why would you not warn us that you have a bunch of little fledgling vampires in your attic?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Come talk to us.
Oh God.
It's the least you could do.
See us after class.
Yeah. Okay, come here. Let's talk.
The old man kind of hobbles over to the door and kind of he turns the knob. I'm not really sure what the structural integrity of the door is at Estate Imra, but I guess the door opens. I don't know if it's a door that will ever close again. But okay.
And I gestured
some speed holes in it.
Yep. Gesturing to the chairs, sit down, and tell us what's been going on.
All right.
How you doing, bud?
So
Let's check in.
the old man, he's got kind of raggedy gray hair, a big mangy beard. I think I've got art of this character. That'll only take me 3 minutes to find. But there's rarely do I, or not frequently enough, do I find the art of the characters. I wish I was better at this part of navigating. Roll 20.
Navigation music playing on the stereo. Navigation music as the
right.
Tony goes up.
Thank you, Micah. I have shown you an image of this man, of this old man. This is the old carpenter coffin maker here, and he looks like he's had a rough life. Probably done a lot of physical labor, and as an older man, and he kind of, I guess it's his kitchen, so he pulls one of the chairs out of his kitchen table and kind of just slumps down in it as Imra, the wood elf, and Crucible,
I'm standing in front of the door, so
yeah,
you can't, try to run
as
off.
several other, just seemingly unfazed by the number of heavily armed adventurers coated in a thin layer of vampire blood crowd into the kitchen
It's
with him.
Barovian.
Yeah,
We have solved your vampire problem.
he sighs. Well, I suppose this is for the best.
Yeah,
would it
I mean, what
not
would be the
be?
alternative? Yeah, what do you mean?
I didn't really know how this would end. Old Henrik got in a little too deep, if you know what I mean.
With whom?
You probably don't want to know the details. It's more trouble than it's worth. Look, you've done good work here today. I appreciate it. I would be happy to give you a discount. Are you in need of a coffin sometime soon?
Clearly not. We ably dispatched these vampire hordes that were inhabiting your upper room. There will be no coffins for us.
Well, maybe not today, but maybe someday soon.
Is that a threat, sir?
No, I mean, just the inevitability of death comes for us all. And when it does, you'll want a Vandervoot coffin, I say.
You mentioned details. I want those.
Are you quite well?
Are any of us truly well in Barovia? I speak of Big Barovia, of course.
Can I
He's actually got a
roll
good point there.
some sort of check on this guy to just see what shape he's in?
Yeah.
Medicine, insight, what do you think?
You might learn different things different ways.
Let's try insight.
I will do insight if you want to do medicine.
I rolled a 28 on insight. How about we do?
I'll do
that?
medicine.
Well,
That was a critical.
okay. Well,
I only got a 20 on my medicine.
on medicine. Let's start with medicine. Brolish, you're studying him. He is clearly shaken up and looks weary and distressed, possibly in some state of shock, but he seems physically intact, and he does not seem to be, we'll say, under the effect of any kind of spell or hypnosis or anything like that. So
his pupils aren't abnormally dilated.
Yeah. He doesn't have, I don't know, like cartoon thought balloons over his head or anything like that. His eyes aren't spirals. Crucible, you have been studying him carefully. He was obviously very evasive about the details and seems perhaps intimidated by you people who have murdered several vampires and ruined one door. So that's
the door that really pushed him over the edge, though, right?
Well, it brought it closer to home than next door. And it seems like perhaps
Next door. I get it.
This carpenter, this man who has been living in a house that also had several vampires under the same roof, he may have, that may have taken its toll on him.
Is there? Can I?
Emotionally.
Okay. There's no way I could sort of heal him with a spell or something like that.
Nope, that only restores hit points, not emotional or mental health. Makes you think.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
I should have taken that therapist subclass.
So Henrik Vandervoot. Vort. No, I'm saying it's Voot now. That's easier to say. That peek behind the door.
Now my
Tony's
notes are
dungeon
wrong.
mastering style. Sorry.
Now all that fan fiction I wrote in the interim is going to have to be rewritten.
Well, you just find in your place R.
Oh, it's very, very dangerous.
Oh.
Can I get you anything? He puts a kettle on the counter.
I'm not sure how much there is to learn. I sort of draw my compatriots aside and murmur quietly, I'm not sure how much there is to learn from this man. He seems...
Probably not much, he says interruptingly.
Okay, I kind of like him.
Unwell.
I feel like he knows.
Can I
some
roll a
stuff.
medicine check, Tony?
I feel like, though, even if he does know something, is it something that we
need to know? Yeah.
We've killed the vampires. We can,
I
bring
just want
the
to check if he can
ashes
take
back
care
to
of
the main
himself.
downtown area and collect
no.
our accolades, steal a wedding dress.
Do we have to adopt this guy now?
Well, I mean, maybe
No.
we could take him.
Crucible wants a pet.
We could take him elsewhere,
I
to
missed
somebody.
that. I'm
I'm
sorry.
concerned about a person who was letting vampires live in their home.
Yep.
I'm concerned about leaving this person on their own because who knows what other kind of awful nonsense he's going to get up to after we wander away.
We'll bring him with us.
He's mumbling a little song to himself as he's getting a surprising number of teacups out. Awful nonsense, awful nonsense. There's clatter of
I
spoons.
think I love him.
I have no prediction algorithm for which NPCs Michael will love or hate. I have no.
None of us know.
Yeah,
Not even I know, Tony.
Okay,
It's
I
just in
just
the moment.
want you to know that you are a cipher to me.
So Lena collars him, gets him by the back of the collar.
Pretty easy. He's slow moving.
Yeah, and says, "Put down the teacups. We're going for a walk."
He puts down the teacups. Oh, we shouldn't leave the house at night. It's very dangerous out.
It's very dangerous in here.
I put my face right up to his and I say, we are very dangerous. Let's go. I will roll an intimidation check if you want me to.
Ooh,
I
Samus
think-
will assist if needed with a growl.
I mean, you are free to. I think he is physically incapable of doing anything against 5 level 7 adventures.
I know,
He's a level 0 Coffin.
Especially because we're level 9.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
please.
It'd be easier if he were not struggling in any way. Cause,
Yeah,
he
he
I
goes
don't
along
want
with
Lena
you.
to have to tug him along.
As let's say you're heading down the
19.
stairs. All right, he seems, he's totally cooperative. You're heading down the stairs and you hear someone banging on the front door, Coffin Maker's shop, and it sounds like there's voices and the tromping of boots. There's at least a couple people outside out front of the shop.
Do we recognize the voices?
Does
Does it sound like a monster arm banging on the door?
Yes, it
Oh,
does.
God.
Welcome to our new coffin shop. It's under new management.
I will.
Can we see can we hear what they're banging for just to be let in?
You hear the voice of Isaac Strasny, the enforcer of the town of Valaki, agent of the Burgermeister, all around troubled individual with a giant monster arm, say, "Hey, anyone in there? We heard the commotion."
I shout,
Henrik?
"Isaac, we're coming! Isaac, on the way! Stomp, stomp, stomp!" And I will stomp to the door so that he, and shout his name. Which door is he coming? The front door, back door?
Front door, which is
Okay.
over on this side. Technically a door that you have not explored, but yeah.
I'm
You
not going
peek
to pay
out
any attention to the room around me. I'm just gonna if I hear him, I'm Brildish. I'm just gonna throw the door open.
All right, you throw the door open. It's now dark out on the street. The streets of Valaki are, of course, empty, and they're all the street is quite dark as there is, all the shops are closed up, all the houses. No one has lights on any home, but it is illuminated by. There's basically Isaac. He's got 4 other kind of town militia with him. They're all carrying torches. One of them has kind of a rolled up bindle of kindling at his feet because their answer to a lot of problems is burning down houses in this town. And Isaac Strasny looks at you kind of confusingly and just said, everything okay there?
Yes, we've killed all the vampires.
Well, probably not all the vampires in the world, but all the vampires in this
locally.
current
boy.
structure.
He does this. Just disregard him.
All
there
the
were a bunch of
vampires.
Clarity
Sarah.
is important, Helivore.
Okay, the vampires
Fair enough.
directly, perhaps not indirectly, but at least directly responsible for all of the murders and the burning of the buildings that you had to do to cover for the murders.
The militia with Isaac seem kind of relieved, perhaps surprised. You don't see a lot. I mean, is it joy? Joy is not an expression we really know how to read here in Barovia, but they seem good. Isaac is like, Well, yeah, wow. I mean, you guys just got here. That's good news. I mean, I was under orders to burn the shop down. I'm not really. I mean,
We're fine
think-
with that.
You think I still should?
instinct. Good instinct, frankly.
One of the militia guys says, "Okay, boss," and he starts walking in with a bunch of
No,
kindling
I don't
into
think
the
that
cup.
will be necessary.
I mean, because there's a lot of lumber in there, of course, already. Yeah, that makes sense.
I do not think a conflagration will do anything further to solve the problem, which we have already solved. It will merely reduce this shop to ashes, and that seems perhaps over the top.
Henrik,
Isaac, do you think that we could talk with just you for a moment?
yeah, sure. Henrik says, that sounds like a great idea.
Henrik,
Isaac
meet
says,
Isaac. Isaac,
okay,
meet Henrik.
Henrik says, can I get my gold out before you burn my shop down?
No.
Wait, there's gold? Just kidding.
I'm not interested in a fire either.
I mean, they're warm.
I
Okay.
mean, I guess I'm relatively convinced that there's nothing else shady going on here. I'm very suspicious.
Isaac says, well, we've burned a lot of houses down. I suppose we could let one slide.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably will need some coffins.
Oh.
Isaac, we came to town. We took care of all of the vampires.
That's
Again,
very impressive.
yes, and quite fast too. Actually, I think they're getting the hang of the Velaki way. My companions are. Listen, we just came in, took care of this problem. We don't mean to stay for long. Would you like the credit for making this problem go away? We can say that we did it on your orders.
Wow. Yeah, no, that sounds great.
Do you think
What's the
that
catch?
you could distract the Burgermeister and his household in the front of the house by telling him the tales of your heroism and your strategy for maybe a minute and a half?
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, the Burgermeister, he's not doing so great. He's taking this whole situation, taking it real personal like. He's not doing great, but I'll make sure he's not a problem. And I'll talk to the Baroness too. And yeah, I mean, you're not going to murder anyone else, right?
No. We're not
here,
going
we
to
don't
murder
Well,
anyone.
Technically, we did not murder anyone. We merely dispatched vermin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I mean, I think some of those vampires used to be my neighbors, though.
Yeah, they
It's
weren't
been a
anymore,
while.
though.
We did
Yeah.
not turn them into vampires. To be clear, we merely dealt with the vampires that
I
had
was
arisen.
pretty sure you didn't. I mean, I know a little bit
We
about
only just got here.
vampires. Yeah. So what's the situation here with Henrik? Am I supposed to arrest him?
You might want
I
to have
don't-
a talk with him because
Yeah. You might need to use some of those sleuthing skills of yours, pal. Because
He might need to be kept under protective custody. of
Henrik-
some sort.
Isaac,
I-
let me put it this way.
Isaac is
You
ready to
should
punch
keep an
Henrik
eye
with his
on
monster arm.
but not in the way that you tell the other people in Velaki what has happened. Just a private, monitoring of the situation, so they don't get all torches and
Yes.
pitchforks.
I mean, I just, I don't know what you guys know. I don't know. I think there might be more questions. Like, is this the guy that let the vampires in to Velaki?
I think that's safe to assume, but he wouldn't tell us anything, and I don't think we're interested in figuring it out. We just want to
didn't-
leave.
We didn't want to leave him roaming on his own in case that is the case. So
and we
you
leave
as
it in
the-
your capable hands.
exactly, as the head of the head of security for
Mm.
Velaki, we figured this is a job for you. Yep.
Henrik, who is holding Henrik still?
I like literally salute.
Someone is holding Henrik this whole time.
I
think
think
it
it
was
was Lena Dulina.
Lena.
Okay,
Yep.
so Henrik is still there. You could have got him by the collar.
Yep.
He just says, just give me my gold and you'll never see me again, I promise.
I don't want to see you again anyway.
How much gold do you have?
None of your business.
You're right. It is none of our
Interesting.
business. Let's go.
Well, now I'm wondering how much
The devil
he was
made me
paid.
do it!
Yeah, yeah.
Ah.
You just had to look at him weird, apparently.
Yeah.
Maybe it's spooky money. I don't know if we want that.
Yeah, and plus
look
we
at him and
already
say,
have a
"Is
lot
it-
of money, or we have
is
some money, and we haven't really spent any of it anyway.
Where are you keeping your money?
You'll never tell.
We'll
You
never
will.
tell.
You will tell.
No, I won't.
Yes, you will.
Yes, you will.
Hey, I sense a job for Elivor.
Oh yeah.
Which-
there's a bed upstairs.
There's a bed upstairs.
Oh,
I was
you're
like,
right.
does Elivor have dominate person?
I
I was
missed
thinking
that
find
bed.
gold, but
Oh.
you're right.
The
Elivor hears the word bed, and he's just absolutely ashamed he missed it, and just takes off up the
He
stairs as
probably
quickly
didn't
as
see it.
possible, like
The,
3 steps at a time.
yeah, there you push past like there's 2 militia members kind of poking around in the workshop. They have made it about 8 feet into the coffin maker's shop. They're certainly not upstairs. The one militia guy who's got the big bundle of firewood, he looks real frustrated that he carried it all the way here, and it's just like standing there with his torch kind of moping. You push past them, Elivor, up the stairs through the coffin maker's little apartment into his dingy little bedroom. He's got like a kind of a cot in the corner, and you approach it.
First, Elivor sort of waves his hands back and forth, and this really pretty sort of purplish sparkle goes over the top of the bed as the bed begins to smell like lavender. He just casts a little druid craft to make things smell good before he goes flipping the bed and spreading the dirt around.
He's learned
All
his
right.
lesson.
Yeah, too many dirty beds.
I'm standing at the door of this chamber just in case Elivor comes
All right,
across something.
I just gotta say, one of my level 5 spells when we level up is animate objects. So I'm definitely gonna make a bed dance around and try to escape getting flipped by a level. High on my list.
Oh
Looking forward to
man,
that.
oh that'll be fun.
So
Rolling
the
opposed dexterity,
The cot smells of lavender and old man.
and Elivor flips it.
All right.
It's smelling like lavender and old man is worse than it smelling like old man.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's that thing when you like when people put like spray cleaner over the thing, and it's like you're just adding to the scent issue here.
Look,
You're
there's
not
only
really
so
covering
much I
it
can
up.
do. Okay.
Druid
All
craft
right.
is just Febreze, is what we're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although Febreze actually has a chemical in it that absorbs the scent.
That's true.
So
I
does
guess.
Druid craft. I don't know.
Yeah, Druid
Craft
craft
just
should.
says
Oh,
other
wait.
baking soda.
Is Febreze paying for this episode?
They should be.
Thanks to our sponsor
mean-
this week.
Did you know that Febreze originally didn't have a scent, and they had to add a scent because
It was
people thought it
poisonous.
wasn't working?
Oh,
No, because people thought it wasn't working without the scent.
First, they tried to add the scent that they put in natural gas, but then they decided that was a bad idea.
Yeah. All right. The dingy
This bed
sheet-
flipping brought to you by Febreze.
Use
Yeah.
code Doug and
Spray it
Pony
on.
for 20% off.
Yeah. We're gonna get sued by them. But they'll smell great. So
All their lawyers
the-
they smell amazing.
yeah, they wear purple suits. The dingy sheets, mangy pillow, and a surprising number of old socks go flying. Beneath the bed, there are 2, looks like they're bags, maybe sacks. Elivor, you see a small velvet sack and a large burlap sack.
Okay. I take
Careful with
the.
opening bags.
Oh, well, I was going to say I take the small velvet sack and I pass it back to Imra to hold on to and choose to
All right.
either examine it herself or pass it off for somebody else to
In
look
my
at.
head,
Just-
I thought this was going to look a lot like we standing down there, and the old guy's like, "You'll never find my gold," and Elvior goes, and then it's like just holding 2 sacks like 2 seconds later. Oh, dude.
The velvet sack, as just in the act of picking it up and handing it to Imra, has that kind of telltale jangle, suggesting that it has coins in it. You've been around long enough to know what a small sack of coins sounds and feels like.
Also know what a
Alright.
large sack of revenants feels like.
Yeah.
Imra
Just
also
an
happens
FYI.
to be the. Imra also happens to be the character of the person keeping track of our loot, so that also works there too. Before we look into the velvet sack, though, Elivor is going to do a little arcana check and is going to get, well, I sure would love if it would tell me what I'm going to get, a 16 to check that burlap bag. Notice anything
All right.
fishy?
You know what? There is kind of an aura around this burlap sack, but it's weird. It's I will tell you, you get a sense of probably not something you have seen in quite some time, and certainly not in Barovia. I'm thinking that I don't think I'm going to use the right terminology for this because I'm not good at this part of Dungeons and Dragons. Getting the sense of kind of a cleric-y kind of magic from it, that perhaps that this sack or the contents of this sack had something to do with consecration.
Interesting. Okay, Elevor.
But it's been like disrupted. This is, to be clear, does not seem to be, both from physical evidence and your sense of what's going on, a consecrated coffin shop.
So just to be clear, it's not a bedpan.
It is not. It's a bag. So at the very least, it's a bed bag.
Bed bag.
It's not a bag with a consecrated bedpan inside, is what I'm confirming.
So far, that is not a thing that we have established.
Did he get that at Bed Bag and Beyond?
You have no reason to believe that.
Elevor scoops up the burlap bag in his shoulder, like, sort of under his arm.
Yeah. Okay. It's a good 40, maybe 50 pounds.
Holy cannoli.
And this is, imagine like a duffel bag kind of size bag. It smells moldery. And
you should bring it down and see what his.
And
that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
There's kind of a weird clattery crunching sound inside. Like maybe it's got like old pottery in it or something.
Okay. Yeah, well, regardless, as much as you're trying to tempt me to look into it, I'm waiting until I get downstairs to actually hand it over to Castan Onotar's Crucible.
So you were carrying
it reminded me.
This thing is this is my bag, baby.
You're carrying a burlap sack. Imra's carrying a velvet sack.
Yeah, and I take it to Mr. Coffin Maker and I say, open it.
You take the velvet sack to him?
Yep.
Never!
Open it.
He sticks one hand into it and pulls out a fistful of coins that he kind of rubs together.
Okay, so I want to look at one.
Money?
Yeah.
Or is it regular money?
Looking at it, it seems to be a mixture of silver and electrum coinage, all of which bears the visage in kind of a profile of one Strahd von Zarovich.
Spooky money.
I forgot. Is electrum worthless?
It is not worthless.
No.
It is worth less than gold.
It's just annoying.
It's basically half gold. It's annoying. It's not even. It's not. It's worth more than silver, less than gold. It's a fun word to say. Electrum.
It is.
And it's a great idea as far as a D&D concept. It makes the math annoying because it's each electrum piece is basically worth half a gold piece.
Got it.
Whereas a silver is like 10 to 1, electrum is 5 to 1. It makes spreadsheets slightly more annoying. Sorry, that's how I evaluate. That's how I rank money.
It is
How
a real.
does it work
I'm
with my
not that picky.
spreadsheet?
It is a real
I'm
thing.
not picky.
Tonal party kill.
I'm just, I've got electrum, so much electrum that I can be annoyed by having it.
Two things though. I mean, it is I think unequivocally the coolest name of any of the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a real thing.
Yep. I mean, it kind of sounds like an X-Men or something.
Yeah.
So
it's like I expected to have
Cooler
electric
than
powers.
Any of the crypto names.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
If
If
there were some sort of cryptocurrency named Electrum, I'd have to rethink some stuff.
Oh, there probably is, though. They probably ruined that for us.
I'm sure.
Sorry.
That's true.
I will tell you, just from watching him kind of hold the coins, Imra, it seems like in terms of value, given that he's holding silver and electrum, though there's probably a nice size quantity of coins, the actual value of that little bag of coins is probably not very high.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm gonna look at Isaac and say this is more evidence that he was paid off to host these vampire minions.
Let me go, or the devil will take all of you.
The
That
devil's
was-
been taking them anyway.
To be clear, that was Henrik, not Isaac. So.
Thank you.
So, are we saying that he was running like a vampire Airbnb? Is that what was happening here?
Yeah.
Weird.
Airbnb.
Thank you.
Nice.
I was working. I couldn't come up with it.
Yeah,
That's good.
same.
Mm.
Something with
Bats and
fangs.
vampires.
All right, so has Elevor come down with a burlap sack yet? Because I really want to see this guy's reaction to seeing that.
Elevor walks past Henry Dinkle to Crucible and says, this has your general vibe to it. You want to take a
You
look?
open one bag, says Crucible.
Not what I was going for, pal, but you gave me a chuckle. Here you go. And he just hands Crucible the bag.
What am I getting off this bag, Tony?
What would you like to roll on it?
I mean, I could pop off one of my divine senses,
Detect. Yeah.
which lets me detect
I just
good and evil. And...
Tony said clerical vibes, so that's why I don't know.
How about I don't know, religion? I guess.
And I think I specifically even mentioned consecration.
Yeah,
Yes.
which I don't. I have.
And then I said bedpan, but that didn't have anything to do with anything.
Nope, correct.
I have.
Cool.
I have a way to know what the hallow spell, if a hallow spell has been cast, but that's not the same as consecration, as far as I know. So.
I believe they're similar in terms.
Okay. Well,
of,
you know what?
or at least
haven't
in
used
my
one today.
understanding of magic.
I haven't used one today, so yeah. So as an action, you can detect good and evil. I can sense anything affected by Hallow, or know the location of celestial fiends and undead within 60 feet. That's not behind total cover. I don't know. Maybe a burlap sack is total cover. I'm not sure.
I will tell you that you get the sense that specifically the contents of this sack were used in basically as it was a fundamental part of the ingredient of casting a Hallow spell.
I will share that with Crucible specifically, but in front of everybody else, and say I never made it all the way through cleric school, so I'm going to leave this in your very capable hands.
Interesting.
What do you think? Or do you want to just make him open this one as well?
Henrik is avoiding eye contact with the sack, which is easy because the sack doesn't have eyes.
Or does it?
Can we just dump it on the ground?
Oh my god, it's a mimic.
We can make him pick it up after.
You can do whatever you want.
I mean, Crucible's willing to open it if Brildish's assessment.
Yeah, we know you're willing to.
If Brildish's assessment is that this is the material components for a Hallow spell, then
or related to it,
the cousin of.
It's not reading as a revenant. That's for sure.
It seems like it's probably. I mean, it may be disturbing, but it may be harmless.
So what's going to happen?
Be harmful. So Crucible will step away from everybody. Like over here, and we'll peek in the bag.
All right. Inside the bag, Crucible, it appears to be of the skeletal remains of a humanoid. Ancient, desiccated, dried up. Not mummified. Mummified, they'd be in great shape. This is the opposite of mummified, but ancient remains of a humanoid.
Bones.
How
there's a skull, a rib cage, and it looks like
medicine check.
several limbs.
Including leg limbs.
It's unclear.
Limbs.
You rolled a 9.
If there's a patella in there, I need it.
What?
Okay.
You rolled a 9, Crucible, on medicine.
Yep.
What were you trying to determine medically?
I don't know how long dead or what kind of creature beyond humanoid.
It suggests to you, especially based on the limited number of humanoids in Barovia, probably a human, and long dead.
You would roll an investigation check to determine perhaps cause of death.
Sure. Now everybody's looking in the bag.
While that's happening,
Isaac is like, I don't want to deal with this, and he's like finding something else to do. He's kind of wandering around the street.
I think
I rolled a 15 medicine to look for a patella if there is one in the bag, please.
Let's see here.
Elivor, I would suggest perhaps these remains should be laid to rest.
I really need some bone dust, though, particularly from a patella.
It
goes right here in this pouch, and Elivor points to
there.
one of the. Yes, and he takes the patella.
All right.
And he puts it in that pouch.
I'm not paying any attention.
The whole patella?
I just want to state that for the record.
The whole kneecap, yes.
All right. Micah, we're going to have a discussion later about grave robbing.
But is it specifically a spell component?
Oh, bone dust?
Yeah. Or do you just want it?
It's only in my imagination that it's a spell component.
All right.
Elivor thinks it is.
Yeah.
So
it just felt right.
Yeah. So Lena and Crucible are looking in this bag.
I'm in the other room.
Elivor has taken one part of it. Yeah.
I'm in the other room talking to Isaac.
Otherwise,
I would not have let that happen.
Henrik says to Lena, "That's not mine. That's these people brought it in. It's not mine. I've never seen that bag before."
Do I believe him?
Roll insight check.
24. I critted that
Absolutely not.
baby. He's lying, I say, and then I go back to chatting with Isaac. I challenge him to arm wrestling. I want to arm wrestle him with his monster arm.
I mean, maybe
I'll
later.
lose.
I'm on duty right now. But
No, fine.
Isaac takes his job a lot more seriously than he used to.
It's turned over
Well,
a
it
new
seems like he
bag.
kind of needs to.
Yeah. Well,
So
Previously, it was unsolicited arson. Now it's
Yeah.
solicited arson.
I would suggest perhaps these remains should be laid to rest at an appropriate location. Perhaps there is a cemetery in the town where that could be accomplished.
I turn to Henrik and I say, where did these come from in the first place? We want to put them back.
the church. Y'all never say.
There is a church. There's one church in this town. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's a church on the west side of Valaki, St. Andrew's, I believe. Theoretically, that church protects all of Valaki from the undead.
I think it's very important that we.
5. Yeah.
I think it's very important that we bring these remains back to the church and reinter them. It's very important because that's I think the reason that maybe the town has been invaded by vampires. It's just like on Wine on Earp when you bury the Amalite, which I'm literally wearing an Amalite necklace right now. It saves the homestead from the revenants.
Screened.
It seems likely that Strahd or someone in his employ encouraged Henrik to dig up the bones, thus breaking the Hallow spell and thus providing a place for the vampires to have safe haven. So if we return this, perhaps I might say a few words and reconsecrate the town if possible.
Isaac pops in. Can we tell my boss about this? This is the priest is my boss's brother-in-law. He's the brother of the baroness. This is gonna look really good.
Certainly.
Maybe then we
course.
wouldn't have to steal the. I'm whispering to the group. Maybe then we wouldn't have to steal the dress. They'd just give it to us.
They're still jerks, just to be clear.
I was thinking perhaps if we wanted to use that as a opportunity for Lena and perhaps one or two more to go and take care of any dress-related matters while the rest of us reinter the body, that might be an effective use of time.
Yeah, and it seems like that might be the kind of thing that the Burgermeister might want to attend with his family and retinue. Like, this is an important event and clear the house.
At the word event, Isaac lights up. He and his monster arm are running up and down the street, banging on houses and saying, "Everybody wake up! Get your lanterns! We're doing a thing! Everybody up! Up!
Bruldish, perhaps you will
Here we go.
accompany me to the graveyard and we can leave
Indeed.
Lena, Imra, and Elivor to take care of
Quick.
also removing the least stealthy members of the team to go do something that does not require stealth.
Quick point of order. When Elivor was leaning over earlier to whisper about returning or getting the dress for free, now that he knows that this is involved in a Hallow spell, he absolutely stealthily sneaked the patella back into the bag
I
with the
was
rest
gonna
of the
say,
remains.
yeah, maybe
Okay.
the entire.
He's like, I'll find some bone dust elsewhere.
Yeah.
This is
Valaki
important.
is 95% hallowed down. So,
Yeah, one out of every
right.
every 20 vampires.
in but a couple of moments in the times that you're discussing who is going to go where, Isaac, the street has seemed to have come alive. There's a bunch of villagers, many of them all dressed for bed, have poured out into the street carrying various lanterns. They all look some degree of sleepy, irritable, terrified of being murdered by vampires, and terrified of being punched in the head by Isaac Strasny. But there's basically kind of a procession forming. The two militia members, two of the militia members with Isaac have taken off your hands, Lena Delina, and he is now he's tied up with honestly far more rope than is necessary. And there's Isaac is kind of rallying the people, and it seems like there's going to be a procession that's gonna
As
head
the
to
people are filling the
east side of
street,
town.
as the people are filling the street, Crucible looks down at Lena and says, "I think it makes a very good distraction, don't you?"
Indeed.
Moments later, Brildish is like, where did Lena go?
The procession passes by the Burgermeister's mansion, and Isaac is calling up to his boss. The Baron and the Baroness and his hunting hounds appear with a rather large retinue of guards because they're still very just. But slowly, the sleepy of very, very anxious Vallaki citizens heads from east to west over to St. Andrew's Church. So those of you so let's see here. Crucible and Lena Delina, you'll take the opportunity to hang back is what you're doing?
No, I'm going.
No.
Bruldish and I are going to
needed.
the cemetery.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
And the rest of
everybody
us are
else.
hanging
I think the
back.
rest of you can.
Yeah.
hang
All right,
back.
Crucible and Braldish lead the follow Isaac Strasny and the growing group of people. I guess Isaac at some point asked for permission to carry the bag. He's very proud of the bag of bones that he's carrying.
Sure.
There is as you make your way into St. Andrew's Church, it's clear there's a decent number of the people of Vallaki who have been living and sleeping in St. Andrew's Church for the last several days, if not weeks, as a place that they theoretically think they are probably safer than their homes. There is the priest attempts to kind of hide his look of recognition at the sight of the sack of bones, and praises Isaac for recovering it and being the true hero of Vallaki. Isaac gets up to give a speech. The Baron kind of like slides right in front of him and says, "See, I told you, all will be well." And there is he goes on for quite some time about everything is great and all of the myriad festivals that will be planned very soon. Meanwhile, back at the Burgermeister's mansion, Lena Delina, no one is here. Everyone has gone with the procession Lena and others. No one is here. It seems like the house is closed up. I assume it would be locked, but there is it does not seem like they've left anyone behind to look over stuff.
So at the back door, Lena lifts her hands and cracks her knuckles, and you can tell that the knuckles are cracking, but it's completely silent.
Whoa.
Is that good?
Hard to say.
Okay.
Very impressive, though. I wish I were there to see it.
Only passable joint health in Barovia.
I'm just going to show you the map of the Burgermeister's mansion in case you need to see it. It's got all the previous stuff on it, so don't worry about them. They're not there anymore. I can't find the button to unhide stuff. I don't know how to use Roll20 anymore. What's wrong with me?
You want the I button?
That's
don't
a
you?
big
Do
question.
we see the Burgermeister's teen son?
I think he's you didn't notice him. We'll say you didn't notice
Is
him.
he sighing? Like, oh.
Probably still in the attic. Is there a light in that? Actually,
I
on
was
the
gonna
other side of
say,
the house. Probably.
Are there
so.
flashes of violet light going on?
Yeah, there's still some violet light flashing in the attic. He's still being a teenager. Even some things are unthreatened by a vampire's courage.
He's still
true.
playing Xbox while everybody else is going to church.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's still
Oh
swearing
man,
at
I
people.
have been there.
What a life.
Yep. I mean, we did tell him that if we found a way out of Vallaki, that we would light a candle somewhere. I can't remember. There's something specific that we said that we would do to signal him to come with
Wait,
us.
like a candelab or a candelabra or something else?
Candelab, I believe, just candelab in the window.
FYI, the word was candlestick that we all just sort of glossed right over.
It was candle holder.
Yeah, it is also sometimes called referred to as the candlestick.
Chat,
but,
do you
yeah.
remember the deal we made with the strange teen? Let us know.
From only 14 episodes ago.
What was his name?
No, it was way more than that actually.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. My problem was that dynamic
I
lighting.
do
was
not
on.
remember that at all.
I don't
Copycat.
even remember what his name was.
I don't remember his name, but I remember he was
Kevin.
like whiny little wizard wannabe.
Specifically necromancer wannabe.
Yeah,
Didn't
none of
Didn't he have
those.
Yeah.
mice or
He
something?
had all the cats.
He
No
Cats.
cats.
had some possibly reanimated cats.
Yeah.
Well, they were definitely
his-
reanimated.
Yeah, they were.
his
not
little
possible.
his little headquarters was warded with like a shock spell that was not too kind to you. All right,
That's right.
Sorry.
Okay. If
I
we
was-
if we discover a way out, we will light a candle in the second window of the
Okay.
inn, and then he should meet us in the backyard at midnight. That's our plan.
Jane, can you see the map now?
So we're encouraging
All right, cool.
youths to run away from their parents?
From
If there's a
Yeah.
burgermeister,
To get out of, I think it was not just to get out of Vallaki, but to get out of Barovia.
Barovia. Yeah.
big
Oh.
Barovia.
So basically, we're paying for his college education.
There's some leaps in
With
logic
a
there.
I just want
Electrum.
necromancy you.
I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that we remember that we have made that promise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bringing y'all back, back
Good
to my
continuity.
sad level.
So we're at the back door.
All right, you're at the back door. And I was just looking it up while trying to fix Roll20, which was probably a mistake in terms of how long it took me to get there. His name was Victor. I figured out the lighting issues with the map and turned them off. So you can see the map now. There's a bunch of stuff on the map that's no longer valid in terms of Izek Strasny has left and whatnot. But yes, the son was Victor Valakovich. And you do see there's some weird purple lights dancing in the attic window, Lena Delita.
I say we just let him have fun. You know,
Yeah.
let kids be kids.
Yep. Agreed.
just gonna raise some more cats.
Also, I don't want to deal with him again. He's just
Right.
gross.
So Lena, the back door is locked.
Right.
I know
That's-
Druidcraft is a cantrip, but I just don't have Febreze for all that.
That's a 24.
For thievery. All right, you effortlessly unlock the back door. It is like it was already unlocked, and there is no sign of your comings or going. The kitchen beyond is dark and unoccupied.
Lena turns to her friends and says, "Go straight for the dress, or are we looking for valuables?"
Just the dress. Let's not chance it.
That's for the best.
All right. Do you remember where you're going to find the dress?
Yep. Up the stairs.
All right. Well, the
It's
kitchen
Yep.
conveniently has a set of back stairs leading up to kind of the main hallway that runs front to back this on the second story of the house.
Because it hasn't been that long in game
No.
since she was here, right?
No.
Like a
She'd remember.
week.
Week. Yeah.
I had forgotten who had and hadn't been in different parts of the
It was Lena.
house.
It has
Okay.
been in the entire house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have
Okay.
Androdite stay in the kitchen, and so she can bark if anybody comes in.
Oh, perfect.
All right. So Lena, you creep silently up the stairs. At the top of the stairs, there's kind of a landing. You know that there's a little hallway to your left that leads to kind of the main the quarters of the Vlahovic family. You know that down the hall there's like a library and offices. There's Victor's room, Izek Strasny's room, and other rooms. But it seems like probably the room you're headed to, I think, is you remember being one of the doors on the left, to your left here.
Yeah, it was like one of the first rooms that I
Yeah.
checked.
You peek into the first room, and it looks to be a kind of a powder room slash bathroom. There's an iron tub, clawed feet, neatly folded towels. So that's what this room on the southernmost side of the house contains.
And okay. So
There's a
the
door
next-
leading
Yep.
from that room further north.
Yeah,
So.
but I think it's in that next room
Mhm.
where it was.
So the next room seems to be kind of like a fancy dressing room for the Baroness.
Yep.
So that it smells like perfume, Druidcraft.
Lavender?
There's
And lavender.
lavender,
And old man?
lavender. And, yeah, is the
Old woman.
official.
I swear I'm not adding the old man scent. It's just the lavender for me.
It's the official scent of Barovia. There's a vanity with a mirror. There's a faceless wooden mannequin wearing a white bridal gown, and as you look at that white bridal gown, you think about the kind of the shoulders and the neckline, and you think about your friend who's been assembled from corpses. And though she is a lot taller, than the Baroness. They've got kind of, I think, enough of the same body type that you think only minor alterations would be needed.
Correct. Can I just roll generally perception to make sure that I don't think anything is up with this mannequin or the surrounding area?
Sure.
Trapped Mannequin.
And that's with
This season on TNT.
I was going to say that could be a good band name too.
Integrity.
Trapped Mannequin.
What was that, Jane?
23.
All right. The mannequin and bridal gown that has been here for quite some time. It's but it's been well maintained. Someone's dusting it every day, clearly. Seem untrapped and unworthy or unnotable as far as things that will murder you. You do, as you're just kind of casting your eyes around, being a careful rogue that you are. You get just a weird vibe off the mirror on the vanity, just hair on the back of your neck kind of sticks up, but that seems unrelated to the mannequin or the dress.
Is there a loose handkerchief or something?
I don't. Sure.
I'd like to put it on top of the. So is this a hand mirror or the?
No, it's a big built-in. Yeah.
Okay. Then I take some loose robe or something like that, and I throw it over the mirror.
Okay.
Then I, make quick work of kind of unpicking the stitches one by one on the back of the dress.
Did you multi-class in seamstress?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's both use sleight of hand.
It's
so.
very close.
And then
with a proper thread ripper, you could just go, and I think that comes standard in
yeah,
a
Lena
kit
won't
lockpicks.
use her son's sword.
They're called thieves' tools. Yeah. Yep. All right. So you've freed the bridal gown from the mannequin. I assume at this point you just kind of wad it up into a ball and put it into an old grocery bag.
Yeah,
basically.
And the veil. And before I leave, I do kind of want to sneak around the other hallway just to make sure there isn't anyone weeping in that closet again.
Oh yeah. You're gonna go check their torture closet?
Yeah, I'm gonna go check the weeping closet.
All right.
Have they fixed the lock?
Closet of Tears.
It does seem like, I believe, the Closet of Tears, which was previously a closet where they were keeping the shoemaker, I believe his name was Udo, who had gotten into some trouble in town. Vallaki justice is a complicated and unjust system. And I believe so.
Henrik's going to be living here soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think Broldish, you physically destroyed the manacles that were attached to the wall, but he could still be locked in a closet. So yeah, he's probably meanwhile, back at the church, everyone is singing songs about how great life in Vallaki is.
I'm keeping my eye on Henrik.
Henrik looks
The
cheery,
bats
even though-
at night are big and mighty. But it's it's a major key version, yeah.
Yeah. Henrik seems moved by it and has just a big grin on his face, though he's still very tied up and probably going to be the recipient of some serious physical punishment in the near future. But the people of Vallaki are once again united. Thanks to you, though, Isaac has taken the claim, and the Closet of Tears is empty. Lena Delina.
Excellent. I actually lied. She is going to sneak back around, and she is going to get for each of her traveling companions, and by get I mean steal. She's a rogue. One fancy accessory. Because we are going to Castle Ravenloft.
Oh, for brunch,
and
we got
a wedding.
Yeah.
And I think they could clean up pretty good.
So like a cummerbund for Crucible, somebody gets an ascot. I don't know any other fancy words.
Someone gets a
waistcoat.
Crucible gets a monocle,
a boutonniere.
But it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
A necklace, earrings.
You have several things,
a
some of
shawl.
them monogrammed with the
Brilldish's hair is
missiles.
always in a bun, but it's
Mhm.
always coming undone. So maybe if the Baroness has one of those like fancy little
Mhm.
cages for a bun, that would
Mhm.
be a very nice
Oh,
thing.
yes, and it has little
Mm.
beads on it.
Yes,
that Broldish
exactly.
can either use or rip off if she wants.
No,
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
Truly, you are now prepared, if not for prom, then to meet Strahd von Zarovich, the devil himself.
Devil prom.
And so, yeah. And so, under cover of darkness, you sneak off into the night, back to the Blue Water Inn to meet up with your friends and allies and get a few hours of sleep, because tomorrow you will head to Castle Ravenloft, perhaps to meet the devil himself, perhaps to meet Strahd von Zarovich, and what other creatures might live and work and play in Castle Ravenloft. What horrors await you, and who will live to tell the tale? For though many of you may enter Castle Ravenloft, it is to be determined who will exit. For answers to questions such as these, join us next season on the Dog and Pony Show here on
Cliffhanger.
Total Party Kill. The end.
Oh man.
Woo. We're going to Ravenloft, people.
Yay!
I appreciate that Tony is like done with your shenanigans. I'm declaring
Narrating our way out of this.
are going to Ravenloft.
Going to
Off we go.
Ravenloft. Nothing bad ever happens there except for all the bad stuff that's going to happen to you. We're finally going to get there. This is the big section of the book. There's still a long way to go in this adventure. You could imagine that Castle Ravenloft is the biggest thing in Barovia, but the end is coming. The end is coming. Yes, Big Barovia. The biggest thing in Big Barovia sounds like a horrible bumper sticker that they would sell.
It's actually like hanging
in
over Little
the
Barovia.
gift shop in
Yeah.
in Ravenloft.
Welcome to the biggest thing in Big Barovia.
Yeah. I am
What do
Cox with
people
Vampire.
usually do? What do D&D players usually do when let me suggest that we all survive and we continue to grow our levels? Are there campaigns for people that are like close to max level? Is that how you keep playing?
Yeah.
Or do
Oh, yeah.
people
Yeah.
just kind of give up? And
You
I
keep
had a
going.
cleric
Running
hit
one right
epic
now.
level, and we kept playing, and it was
Yeah,
fun.
you can keep going. Max level's 20, so there's a variety of levels. Dan's in an adventure right now where he's, I don't know, way too high level. Dan, what level is your bird?
I think 15 or so.
So
16.
there's a
At
variety
that
of stuff.
point, you get like plane shift, and it's
Yeah.
basically at any time you could be like, I'm gonna go to the Feywild, and as a DM, you have to just be like,
Mm.
and so you do.
I guess
Dan-
the campaign is
Dan-
down the favor.
Dan's in a library.
So
That's
okay,
true.
if it's the end
It's
of
like
the
the Feywild.
season, then I want to be very specific about what accessories we have
Mm,
picked out.
I
for
can't wait
all
to
of the
hear.
characters.
Mhm. Do tell.
So for Imra, it is going to be like a long burgundy scarf that is kind of
Ooh.
like ridged on one side, like curly kale.
Ooh.
Nice. Yeah, no. I can picture
Mhm.
that.
And Broldish gets like the hair cage with beads that rattle. I
Love
think
it.
Crucible, I think Lena gets them like a waistcoat.
Yes.
oh my god, that's so cute.
Yes.
They will
Um,
enjoy that immensely.
and Elevor, maybe like a fascinator of some kind to go in his like wild.
That makes
hair.
sense because Elevor is fascinating.
He's the most fascinating of us.
I
Okay, so you said it was a
love
burgundy
it.
And
scarf.
when Elevor wild shapes into other shapes, like
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
becomes,
it
like
stays.
a feather that's
Yes.
slightly out of place,
Yes,
or like a little
nice.
tuft of fur on the
I
And
left knee, or-
Love it.
Androdite and gets a new ribbon. And I don't know if Samus wears ribbons, but Samus can now.
All
What
right.
about Pony?
Nothing.
Fine.
He knows what he did.
I would suggest
Would
if we're
Tony
going to
deign
if we're going to a wedding,
a big, it's probably supposed to be like the swag at the bottom of the dress, but you could just wrap it around him, sort of like a cravat.
I was
With,
gonna
like, a
say
little
if we're
roost
going
in
to
the middle.
if we're going to a wedding, clearly Pony should get a new bridle.
Pony does
Ah.
not use a bridle.
Yeah.
But that is funny. I get your joke.
Thank you.
But
Thank
no.
you. It's a
Yeah.
bridal party. Whatever.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Nice
Am
bit,
I missing
Dan.
any randos? Oh, I guess Aragorn.
I was gonna say.
Oh!
I'm like
I always-
handing everything out.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Eric, yeah, it's nice. It's okay.
No, I got him. I got him a big hat.
Fake
Okay.
mustache to go on top of his real mustache.
A big hat with a feather.
Ooh, I think he could
So
rock
this
a big
is
hat with a
Extreme
feather.
Lena makeover.
What is Samus's ribbons color?
Like a nice. Well, I was gonna say like a nice seafoam green, but I think I'm just thinking of Jasmine because she has a tiger.
Oh,
So legally distinct from that color.
perfect. All right, noted.
I added the scarf to my equipment list.
Oh yeah, I should add a whiskey.
Well,
it gives you a bonus of +1. Lena kind of likes you now.
live
Which
stream
is
slash bootleg.
amazing.
I know I said next season. That will affect these episodes when they're edited and released in like 2025.
Mhm.
But we will endeavor to be back playing D&D in the
Before
not too distant future.
2025.
Yes, in the next couple of weeks, to the extent that life cooperates with that. And I am excited to go to Ravenloft. There's a lot of
Me
there's
too.
a lot of weird stuff in Ravenloft, people. You may want to, I forget if we have notes. You may wish to consult your notes because you did get a pretty extensive briefing from Esmeralda Davenier about where one might find different things in the different levels of Castle Ravenloft. I will tell you, as an adventuring group, you may want to be careful in terms of how completionist you want to be in Castle Ravenloft, because it's real big. And, there's some parts that are, they're pretty dangerous that you probably want to go to. And there are some parts that are pretty dangerous that you don't have to go to. And so it's up to you whether you want to go to every room in Castle Ravenloft, because there's a lot of rooms. The book on the back boasts over 100 rooms. They kind of pad that number. There's a lot of closets. It's just like Boston real estate, but it does boast that there are literally over 100 chambers. There's 100 descriptions of them. Some of the descriptions are like nothing of note here. So yeah, it'll be great, and it'll probably take you a while to get through all of that. So yeah, Dan, is it time to hit the thing?
Time to hit the thing.
Night,
Say
everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye, nerds.
Night, Mom, if you're still
Bye.
awake.